Hello and welcome to this week's episode's Cowboys Takeover. I'm your host, Jason Kent. With us, as always, Mr. Aaron James. We have a special guest tonight, lifelong 49er fan, best friend, Big Z. Big Z, how you feeling today, sir?
Good. How are you? How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
Yeah, excited for another matchup with San Fran. That seems to be this yearly matchup. This time it's only a regular season matchup, so it's not as big. But I still think it's an important matchup. It's still one of those big rivalry games. We all grew up in the 90s, so we remember those big matchups. And then even through the years, it's always been fun to watch these two teams play. With Zach being a 49er fan, I've always been able to, in the years prior, up until recent, that's all. Like I could talk trash, but now it's they knock you out of the playoffs 2 years in a row, and once in Dallas and Big Trent Williams is laughing in your fan's face. Gets kind of one-sided after a while, Somebody can answer,
Sorry. I didn't know if you were going to keep going. I was enjoying the content. You were big it up. What do you want me to add,
It's good times. For you. But this week, I think, is a different game. When we look at it, Dallas definitely going throughout the season, not where we expected. I'm sure you feel the same way about San Fran. Just losing last week. It wasn't last week. I think Ayuk got hurt. Debo's now, and he's out for the season. Debo kind of coming back from some injury stuff, some sickness. Kittle's hurt. You jump to the Dallas side. Dallas really doesn't have a running back this season. And with San Fran, McCaffrey, real big, Mason's really filled that role, but McCaffrey's hurt. And you got Tank and Mike on the other side. Bland's still out. So this is a matchup, man. Like you before we went on the air, you made the joke. If Dallas is going to get San Fran any year, it really feels like this is the year. Especially Purdy's not look great. San Fran, their one big key over the last few years has been winning those close games. Purdy seemed to play really well. And one of a lot of those real close one-score games. And this year, I think they're 0-2 and 0-3 and something like that. So we'll start with you being the San Fran guy, Zach, going into this Sunday night matchup. When you look at it, what are the keys on your side for San Fran to victory for them to, really pull it out and just continue their dominance over Dallas?
Run the ball. Dallas weak at linebacker. You don't have Micah Parsons. Even when they had Micah Parsons, I don't know if he's going to play, but they're saying it's trending towards unlikely. I think Schefter tweeted out.
Yeah.
They ran the ball right at him too because they're smaller linebacking crew, and San Fran is known for running the ball, and we, tend to
got Big Trent Williams there too.
Yeah. The key will be if Kittle plays too, because he's huge in the run game. So that'll be but like I said, if they are ever gonna beat them, it's now or never, right?
You'd have to. They don't have all the weapons. I think the big thing is, it does stink because you want to see both teams at full health. Debo's, you don't know where he's at. They said he practiced a little bit today, limited. How bad was pneumonia? Is bad enough to keep him out of last week's game, which I felt was a much bigger game for San Fran and for them to really want to get up to play. So if he's missing that, he's not feeling well, especially since he's hospitalized for a couple of days after. But no Kittle. I think that's been the key for almost every team this year against Dallas is really just run that ball at that defense. Aaron, what do you look at it when you see it when you're like as the enemy? We want to whoop San Fran. What's the key? What are your keys to victory that San Fran really should be pushing for, getting to beat this Dallas team, the team that we've seen a lot of, so we kind of know their deficiencies?
Yeah, I think Zach is pretty head on with this. They're going to win in the trenches, I think, on both sides of the ball, and it's really as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot. And I think. Shanahan's at the point where he doesn't care about a sexy win. I believe he'll come into this game and, hand the ball off, 30 times just to get the win, try to get out unscathed, try to keep everyone healthy. I don't suspect, I don't think San Francisco's nervous and getting into a shootout with the Cowboys because, in particular, Ward just seems to have CD's number. I can't think of a time where CD has really been successful against him in the last 2 or 3 matchups that they've had, and with Cooks out, and we saw a splash of Turpin in the playoff game. It's really going to take a heck of a game for McCarthy to overcome the DBs and just the lack of talent outside of CD. So yeah, I mean, San Francisco just needs to take care of the ball. I think Purdy's going to have all day to throw it. He has made some kind of bonehead mistake, which is not something he's really done in recent years. So I think as long as Purdy takes care of the ball, I think they should be really confident going into this game. But I do know that the sentiment around Niners fans is, they're the way they've let games escape this season is unlike any other, and it's really put a bad taste in their mouth. And I would say there's a lack of confidence in the fan base right now in this team.
I tend to agree with
You
that.
purely can't deny that.
Well, the fan base, how fans are, guys. I mean, it's extreme. Okay, people want
Aaron never loses faith. Aaron never loses faith in the Cowboys.
But guess what? San Fran, I think, was 3-4 this point last year. Also,
were they really?
They lost to Cleveland, Minnesota, and somebody else before the bye week, and they came back. Remember, and everybody was talking about Purdy is even a guy anymore, and then he had that concussion. He was out a week, then he came back. All of that. That was last year. That was this point in the season. So I'm not worried. And then I think the other year that they went to the NFC Championship game, they were 3-5. So it's like, I'm not worried because even Belichick, I think, has said football don't start till November. And we're at that point now. Games really, really start to matter. You don't want to be lost in the back, of your division or anything like that. So.
Well, even with all those things, I do think it's a bigger game, more of a must-win for San Fran than it is for the Cowboys. But I do think it's meaningful for both teams in the same way that we could potentially both be fighting for that wild card spot.
Yeah.
Oh, I 100% agree too. Just for San Fran goes into a bye, and I think we get McCaffrey back, and a lot of the young receivers and stuff like that now have to step in. Will have a week or two, to come back. So a win would be huge, but I still wouldn't panic because then you go into a bye and then you're healthy and you have a completely different team minus Ayuk. And we still don't have Dre Greenlaw yet, so I'm not worried also because once he comes back, the run defense will be a lot better.
Yeah. And I was excited last week, and I said this, I thought it was really this in the beginning of the season. I thought this would be a trap game for San Fran because I thought looking into it, San Fran, nobody expected them to be 3-4. I don't think any people expected Dallas to be, what are they, 3-3, 3-4, something like, they're both right around 500. Nobody expected that. You really expected that San Fran Kansas City matchup to be, battle of the undefeateds. And to me, I said, man, I really think that's a trap game because I think San Fran's going to get up for that, especially after losing to them a couple times in the Super Bowl now. They're going to come in, smack Kansas City, know they have a bye week after Dallas, kind of relax a little bit. But now that, they came out last week, lost again, regardless of the injuries, man, I think it's going to be harder for Dallas to really step up. But I do think, again, like I can't deny what either one of you guys said. Looking at it, San Fran's a top 6 rushing team. They average about 140 yards a game. Dallas's rush defense isn't really good. So to me, I think, it has to be every time you play Dallas the rest of the season, it really has to be focusing on that rush defense. Because that way, you give Purdy some room. You don't have to, you don't know Debo's going to be 100%. I don't know if Kittle's playing. I know he's been banged up. You don't know if he does play, is he going to be 100%? And, Juwan Jennings looks really good so far this season. But if you can take that pressure off of Purdy, make Dallas really focus on that run game, a guy like Debo, Jennings, they
Out.
can make what?
Jennings is out again.
Is he? So he's not playing this week either?
Coming back.
Man.
Hi.
So it's, Dallas, you really San Fran, Dallas knows that San Fran doesn't have a lot of weapons, but the good thing is if you're San Fran, you have to be confident. Your running game, you have a run game, you have a good quarterback. Purdy
Fell out on the run.
The problem is I don't know if you can, though, because Purdy's good enough. If Debo plays, Purdy's good enough to make plays, and we've seen it. But yes, to me, this is almost the same thing you do, against Pittsburgh. You really have to go back at this point. You have to make Purdy try to be the one to beat you. You can't let that run game beat you. But I just don't think Dallas has the dogs on defense to stop San Fran's running game. If I'm San Fran, I'm just going behind. Isn't it? What's 73? Isn't he 73? Go behind Big Trent Williams. There you go. You just go behind. If you go behind Williams, you're guaranteed 4 or 5 yards to carry. Like that's all. That dude's a monster. And on the defensive side of the ball, I think he really, as Bosa is playing, you got to get him. You got to get that line going. Dallas had a little bit of trouble blocking. Felt like Dak's not been comfortable, getting kind of disoriented. And on the defense side, you get that, get that rush go. At Dallas, it really seems like if you take CD out of the game, Dallas doesn't have anything. And this season, more than any that I remember in the past, CD's really getting mentally checked out. You can see him physically or visibly upset, visibly distraught, annoyed. Kind of the chemistry's not there. Just hasn't looked like it. So if you're San Fran, it's really all about punching Dallas in the mouth this week on both sides of the ball. To me, that's when I ran this Madden sim, I was shocked because I do not see Dallas playing well. That's me. So we all may be getting this one wrong, but now that we jump to the other side of the ball, Mr. Aaron James, if Dallas is going to pull it out like Zach says, their chance, what does Dallas have to do to pull this victory out?
So I think you did say it. We have to sell out on the run, and the reason we can afford to do that is hopefully Deron Bland is able to play this game. Because then if you're in a situation where you have Bland and Diggs and Jordan Lewis locked in on receivers, there's no one that really scares you on that one-on-one coverage on the Niners side because they're running so thin. So if you got Donovan Wilson in the box, something like that can, I think we're going to have to do a lot of creative blitzes throughout the game just to get Purdy off balance, try to get him to make a mistake. Because and what we do have going for us, we are 3-0 on the road, and we have stopped the run against the Steelers and against the Giants. So even though we've gotten gashed for a majority part of the season, we have shown flashes that it's something we can potentially accomplish, or we have accomplished in games. Now, I think it's unlikely, that happens, but it's happened before. Okay.
And then positivity, though.
Daniel Jones, though.
He wasn't the rusher for that game, and they were averaging like over 4.5 yards.
Quarterback.
They were, yeah. So, yeah. So on defense, you got to sell out on the run. You got to keep it a low-scoring game. I don't think, you're going to be able to probably get over 20 points in this game. So you got to keep it low-scoring, and you got to get them off the field on third down. It looks like 49ers are, under 50%? Almost closer to 40% or so in third down conversions. So if you can keep them off the field, keep them from, having 7-minute, if they have 1 7-minute drive this game, I don't see, I don't see it going our way if they're able to control the time of possession by running the ball. On the offensive side, obviously Dak's going to have to get into a rhythm. I suspect there's going to be a good amount of screens. Hopefully McCarthy has, took time to watch the KC game in particular to steal some play calling from Andy Reid. While plagiarism is a thing in the NFL, McCarthy just seems to refuse to do it. It's just terrible, but it's going to take a 2 weeks worth of prep type of play calling situation to be creative in using CD and getting Turpin the ball and some other guys open. And, that's kind of what I have going for Dallas, best case scenario.
Zach, what do you think? If Dallas is going to win this game, I don't know if you could do anything, change anything Aaron said, but in your opinion, what does Dallas need to do to beat San Fran this week, being a San Fran guy? What are their weaknesses?
San Fran is weak against the run, but Dallas doesn't run the ball well. So my key to the game is San Fran special teams is horrendous. You guys have a really good punt returner and kick return. Turpin, yeah. Yeah. Anytime touchdown Turpin. You know what I mean? Offense, special teams, anything. That guy is electric, and our special teams has suffered with all the injuries too. Hufunga's out, I think, now for the year. I mean, like everything. Terrible. So I would say special teams, to be honest with you. Field position. You get what I'm saying?
That could be huge.
Everything. I think it's going to
two teams that aren't. I don't think it could be a defensive showdown with the way these offenses look, man. Field positioning and field goal kicking. And isn't San Fran? Aren't they still on their backup kicker?
We are now on our backup of a backup kicker. Oh, wow. The other guy went on injured reserve.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. And that's something I didn't even think about. I think that's great. Outside the box, man, I don't know how you shut down Jordan Mason. It's not really Jordan. It's not even Jordan Mason. It's San Fran. They just can plug and play anybody in that running back position. The Shanahans know how to run the ball. It's just facts. There's nothing to dispute it. So if you're Dallas, you have to really sell out. But I do think, to me, the key on offense is the key to me every time. It's got to be Dak. Dak got to come out and play well, because Dallas isn't going to run the ball. McCarthy's not going to give it to him. Just can't happen. And I don't know why. They just won't run the ball. They won't give Rico the attempts. So Dak has to be pretty perfect. So that's what, to me, it's got to be the Dak and CD show. They have to show up and really show out, and CD has to have a big game for Dallas to win. So kind of got everything there. So now we're looking at it. We ran the Madden sim. We all sound kind of like Dallas is going to be favored. I don't even know if they are. They're probably not. They're in San Fran.
4 points.
Yeah, see, it doesn't sound like Dallas has a chance. But when I ran the Madden simulation, guys, this game, after the first quarter, was only 7-3 Dallas.
All right, let us get predictions in here.
31-14 Dallas Madden had. So not prediction time. I'm just letting y'all know. We like to do a little thing here called over-under, Zach. So we'll pull a couple stats from the game. So over-under, Madden simulation has Dak throwing for 311 yards. What do we got? I'm going under. I don't see him throwing for 311. And what are you
I'm going under as well. Even though I know Zach's gonna be tempted to say over because he's gonna have to throw so much, and who knows if there's gonna be garbage time, but I'm saying under.
Okay.
I mean, Dak is the master. I mean, I'm sure you guys know he's the master of garbage time.
He's the big garbage time guy. He lives in garbage time.
San Fran has allowed 10-point lead slip away twice in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that's a great point. That's a beautiful point.
I mean, I know his probably real over-under is probably around 270.
I would think so.
Smart, but just for the game, I'm going to say over. Just for
fun. Man. We got one.
Did it, let's why not?
So this one shocked me. Let's go Jordan Mason over under 17 yards. Madden thinks Dallas sells out on the run and stops that. He has 5 carries for 17 yards this week. Wow. Good old 3-point. He only breaks 2 tackles. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to positively say over unless he gets hurt.
I think we're all in agreement with that.
He might just take the first run for 18 yards just to prove a point, So we'll go to the last one from the game. I love it. CD Lamb, because Aaron said he didn't think it. We'll get to San Fran for Zach too. I want to throw them in there. CD Lamb though, 8 catches, 152, 2 tutters. Does he get close to that? To me, catches, yes. Yards and touchdowns, I don't know. I would say catches. I'm going to say under on all 3.
I think he's good for a touchdown, 6, 7 catches, probably about 100 yards, but not that's
I'm going under on that.
2 touchdowns, 152 is a lot.
Wow. If CD goes over 100 yards in this game, I don't think he has any big plays like over 25. So that would tell me that they did quite well. Because he's probably going to average like maybe just under 10 yards per catch would be my guess. But yeah, I would say under on those numbers.
Okay, and we'll go last one. We did do the Mason rushing. We have Brock Purdy, 203 yards. He goes 15 to 25 for 203, 1 tutter. The game has no turnovers. So what do you think those numbers? I think over. Brock's definitely throwing over 203. I can't see like
he's second in the league, I think, to Dak in passing.
Yeah. One of the top offenses in the NFL. Yeah. I just can't see that. Yeah, this one's go. Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah, I think over. I don't think he has a breakout game. I think the talent around him will stand out a little bit more this game, but I do think he gets probably closer to 275.
Dude, this is insane. They have Dallas 279 total yards, San Fran 252. Man, they got it. But none of that matters. Madden doesn't matter. Our prediction don't matter. We're going to make them though. We'll come in here. We'll get Big Z is the guest host today. The one San Fran fan on the panel. We saw what Madden said. What is Big C? Zach, what do we got? What's the final score?
I'm going to go 27-20 San Fran.
Okay. So that's 1-1 Madden. Aaron, what's your leaning head on this week?
Yeah, it pains me to say I was really trying to come up with ideas to think Cowboys can pull it out this week, and coming off the bye and potentially, having Micah back and Bland back. But I just think, the 49ers just seem to have our number, and I don't see a path here convincingly going into San Fran and making the impossible happen this time around. But I'm gonna say San Fran wins 23-17.
Okay, man, that's Aaron. I'm disappointed. I thought for sure you'd have Dallas winning, because I'm definitely I don't see a way Dallas wins. This is one of those games. I just don't see it. I thought last week if they won, they beat Kansas City, you'd have Dallas. You'd have a little bit more of that. They may not be as up, but after that loss last week, they have a bad taste in their mouth. And if Debo plays, he's going to be a man on a mission. I think San Fran wins 31-24. But I don't think it's a close game. I think there's a lot of garbage time comeback there. I just don't see how Dallas, right now, Dallas isn't a team we thought. I know San Fran's not either, but they still trust their run game and that stuff. They have more of an identity than Dallas does right now. So it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good.
Yeah, if by chance the Cowboys, Madden's right, Cowboys win 31-14, is the season over for the Niners, Zach?
I don't think so. And the reason being, it's
3-5
the bye, but week 10 you get McCaffrey most likely back, you get Juwan Jennings back, Debo 100% at that point. Now you got a 2-headed monster at the backfield. Kittle will be 100%. There'll be a lot of positives, and you're only a couple weeks away from Greenlaw coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the fan base is going to go crazy. I mean, it's going to be fire everybody, all that. They don't remember we've been 3-5 and made the NFC Championship game. We've been 3-4 and made the Super Bowl. it doesn't matter right now. You know, it matters about the run you make. Everybody, Giants, I think it was 06 or whatever year that was, where they marched right in and beat the Patriots and all that stuff. That was crazy. You know, it's about getting hot at the right time and about midway point.
Yeah, and with San Fran, they're not, you know, they're only a game out right now. It's not like anybody's running away with that division. You know, Seattle is in first place. And, you know, you still think Seattle's probably not as good as a team as San Fran. So they still have, you know, the work to make up. They're 1-2 in the division. So you don't, you know, it's not a division game, but, you know, it's not something they're running away with. Nobody's, you know, 5-2, 4. You have no 6-7 win teams. So, you know, I kind of agree because it's a weaker division. You know, I think it's, you know, neither one of us expected this matchup to go in like this. We probably thought it would be a much better matchup, but man, you heard it here first. Madden is the only one to pick Dallas as a winner, and Madden has it 31-14. So I don't know. Madden doesn't know what Vegas and we know apparently. But thank you so much for coming on today, Zach, with us. We really appreciate it. It's nice to get the San Fran side of things. Always nice to hear the other team side, kind of what their weaknesses are. It does stink that their weaknesses are the run defense and our worst. We have the worst run game in the NFL. I feel like that's tough. So let's hope it's a better matchup. Let's hope it's a great game. We all have it within a score. So hopefully it's a close game. And you know, last team. Hopefully it's not last team have the ball and Dallas has the ball because Dak's not going to win it because he doesn't do that against San Fran.
At least Zeke's back to hike the ball.
Funny. But thank you everyone who checked us out tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you all. You can check us out if you're watching this on Cowboys Takeover Podcast, Ring the Bell Network, anywhere. If you're watching this on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank each and every one of you for checking us out and staying with us. We'll be back probably Monday or Tuesday because it's a Sunday night game and I live on the East Coast. I'll be in bed by the time I'm out. So we'll be back Monday night, Tuesday night. We'll discuss with Aaron with the post game. Hoping for a Cowboys win. Nobody here has it that way though. But you know, thank you each for coming on again tonight. Appreciate it, guys. As always, let's go Cowboys.
Nah.